So welcome back, and this will conclude our two-day presentation for the Continuing Master Student Class 2021. And I have the immense pleasure to introduce and present the last presentation of our student Paride Pignotti, presently calling from Italy. And Paride is presenting his CE entitled Traveler Symphony. And I was, had the pleasure of being his advisor for the last 3 semesters. And I know Chase Mooring is his panelist and contributed also to the project as well, other faculty and member of the community. I would like to read a little bit about Paride. Paride Pignotti is an Italian guitarist and composer who mixes the passion of jazz with a taste of Mediterranean sounds in his music. During his career, he has collaborated with Italian musicians as Javier Girotto and Nicola Stilo, and has played in some of the most important jazz festivals in Italy and in Europe. In 2018, he recorded his first album called 43 Parallelo, produced by M record label, and in 2020, he recorded his second album called Acqua Marina, produced by Wow Record. And we have been having the pleasure of having in our program as one of our graduate students, Paride. So when you're ready, we're all ready for you.
Okay. Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here discussing my thesis called Travel Symphony, a music journey made to try to bridge musical worlds in search of a new personal aesthetic. During my life, I've been so lucky to be able to live in different countries and experience different cultures and music. I would like to start with one of my favorite quotes that could be also applied to the musical field. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscape, but in having new sights. Marcel Proust. The main purpose of this project is to bridge different musical worlds in order to research, discover and define a new personal identity and approach in composition. During this year, I felt so lucky to be able to improve as a musician and especially a better composer, and to have been exposed to a wide range of musical ideas and approaches. I decided to use composition as a tool to express my inner music and life truth, because I think that composition and improvisation are interconnected, and they can help every musician to understand more clearly what direction they are pursuing. I decided to focus mainly on 4 themes, and I became familiar with Mandingo music because I lived in Senegal for 40 days and experienced firsthand the power of Mandingo traditional music. Ravel's String Quartet because I'm very passionate about the Impressionistic music period and I studied and lived in France and Brussels for a year. Puccini's opera arias because me as an Italian, I'm very linked with the Italian opera melodic tradition. And I tried to combine all my music experience and research with my passion for jazz, and with all these new concepts I was exposed to during the year Global Jazz Institute and during this year in America. The first song I would like to present is called Cuckoo, and is mostly based on a Mandingo rhythm I studied when I was in Dakar called Cuckoo. The main theme is based on the opera aria O mio babbino caro by Puccini. Cuckoo is a popular rhythm and dance played in all kinds of festivals. Originally, this rhythm was played by the ethnic Manian group from Ivory Coast and Guinea, when the women come back from fishing. The dance and the music played have a celebration function, and I would like to share with you a short clip I did when I was studying this rhythm in Dakar. During the compositional process, I tried to approach every rhythm I was analyzing in the same way I would have analyzed a symphonic orchestra or a string quartet, trying to deeply understand the relation and the function that every percussive instrument has with all the others. During this year, I researched some of the most important rhythms linked with the Mandingo music, and I started transcribing some of them that I encountered in Senegal. For the composition of this song, I decided to write a guitar line that is mostly based on the first djembe groove, and I did the same with the bass line in relation to the dun-dun groove, as I can show in the figure. Thinking about the melody, I decided to follow the same melodic development that Puccini did in O mio babbino caro, using basically three motifs that are repeated with variations and developing them as much as possible. This is the song. The second song I would like to present is called Hammond 3 and is based and influenced by Ravel's F major string quartet and Danilo Perez tetrachord and harmonic concept. During this year, I was working on developing new compositional ideas on the different registers of the guitar, trying to see the instrument more as a small orchestra. After I read this quote by Segovia, I decided to write this song just for guitar, as a solo piece, and later I added flute and clarinet. The guitar is like an orchestra. Every instrument of the orchestra is inside the guitar, but in a smaller sound size, under Segovia. In this song, each phrase made by the guitar is heavily influenced by the tetrachord concept that Danilo Perez introduced to us during this year. I tried for this composition to see the guitar as a string quartet, using each register of the guitar as a separate instrument, violin 1, violin 2, viola, and cello. I also tried to emulate the colors and the changing of key that are common with Ravel and more in general with the impressionistic music of the early 20th century. third song I would like to present is called Snowflake, and is based on the orchestration of Ravel F major string quartet and on Puccini's aria Melodic Development. I would like to introduce this song with one of my favorite quotes by Puccini. Without melody, there is no music. Only with emotion can one succeed and be remembered, and they are written low in the theater, to interest, to surprise, and to move. After analyzing some of the melodic movements of my favorite Puccini arias, I decided to try to compose a tune inspired by the Italian aria's melody with some references to the orchestration made by Ravel, especially in the F major string quartet. I would like to show you a quick example of one of my favorite aria by Puccini. This is Snowflake. The last song I would like to present is called Green Vision, and it's a song inspired by the tritonic system harmonic concept and concert structure used by musicians such as Coltrane, Bill Evans, Ravel, and so many others. The main rhythm is based on a 3-3-2 rhythmic clave, and the melodic motif is influenced by the trim motif development used by Puccini in my favorite opera arias. I would like to give you an example of the tritonic system used by Ravel that inspired John Coltrane to write Giant Step. The melody of this song was made using basically three motifs that are repeated with variations, as Puccini did in most of his arias melody. The first, the second, and the third melodic motif are transposed without variation of a major third to B flat. After, the same motifs are transposed another major third, but this time with some melodic variations. All the key changes are based on the tritonic system. I hope that this work can help other musicians to have an example of how we can incorporate different musical elements from different musical worlds in order to search our personal aesthetic. I also hope that this work can help musicians to have a global vision of the music and help to avoid the tendency to label music in general or style. Because I believe that every artist has his own voice that has to cultivate and pursue with effort. I want to thank all the musicians and people that helped me during this journey, Global Jazz Institute for the opportunity, and a special thank to Marco Pignataro and Danilo Perez.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Paride. Congratulations. Bravissimo.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Okay, let's start the end of this presentation of today with the question and comments. And I would like to start with the panelist, Chase. Please take the space to give a question or comment to.
Paride, wow, really beautiful music you are writing. Just gorgeous. I really want you to release this music. Please do, because it's beautiful, and you're making some really strong statements with the kind of narratives you're telling, the harmonies, the textures, the colors, and it's clear that you've been studying a lot. So just congratulations on the beautiful music. And I gotta say, it's really refreshing, for you to be going in depth about this kind of personal musical journey and talking about the musical elements and sort of the people you're studying and that kind of thing. Like, to me, it's very worthwhile and an important thing, and it's clearly making a huge impression on you and your perspective as you go about finding your path through your music and what you want to say with it. So congratulations with the project. Congratulations on all this beautiful music. I wanted to point out a few people that we met briefly one time, and congratulations on the string quartet writing as well. How do you feel about that? That was gorgeous. Really has come a long way. And to speak of some other impressionist composers that you might get into next, there's a little lesser known but fantastic composer, Gabrielle Fauré, who writes some really interesting music, definitely worthwhile to check out, as well as her name is Lily Boulanger. Check out some of her choral music, really amazing stuff that I think you would really dig. And I would love to see you get even more into the world and start exploring, like getting into Bartók, getting into Stravinsky, some of the composers who really built from that tradition, some of the sounds that we're building in France and other places in the world, but then took it new directions, writing for strings, for example, and writing for other stuff. So I think that we can get together if you want. I'm happy to talk about that kind of stuff. I think it would be cool. I have a quick question for you. For me, there's a striking influence from Brazil in your music too. I don't know if I'm hearing this really strongly, and you didn't really talk about it. I'm curious, is that something you've actively thought about and studied? Are there
I thought a lot about, because, for example, I love a lot of Brazilian music, like Guinga. I listen a lot of Guinga. I listen a lot of Brazilian composer, from Gilberto Gismonti to younger composer like Pedro Martins, or I can say a tons of known people like I really love from Brazil. The only thing I didn't put Brazilian music because I never been to Brazil, and so I wish to go. And next stage is to put also Brazil as one of my influences, because I wanna like experience firsthand this kind of music. And after, because when we analyze something like some musical elements, we really have to go there to understand why, for example, why they use some kind of rhythm, why they use some kind of harmony, why this is connected with also the society and the culture. We cannot just take, oh yes, this is a groove, I check it on YouTube from Brazil, or this is an album I really loved. But to me, when I want to go deep inside some concept, I would prefer to go there, really understand why a rhythm is connected to a way of moving, why an harmony is connected to a way of speaking, or why a melody is connected to a way of talking with other people. So before speaking about something that like Brazilian music that for sure I love and I studied, I would like to go there and before doing this. So maybe next year.
Yeah. I think it would be fantastic. Get together with Danilo, with me, with with as many people as possible, and then go visit play. I feel like you're just starting the research. This is like the kind of work you're doing here is just the beginning of something you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, and be opening up those connections, because the reality is the study of classical music and how Europe has essentially colonized the whole world and influenced all the music. There's a great amount of connections that you're going to be finding. So, as you explore that, I think you'll find that, oh, wow, you talk about location a lot, the geography of something, but nowadays, to me, that gets broken down, and there's questions about the traditions of music and how we've been a global place for forever. A lot of people think, now it's the most global it's ever been, but the reality is humans have been doing the greatest and the worst things together since the beginning of time. So I think that for you, continuing along that route, studying the history, that kind of thing, it's going to be beautiful for your music and your journey.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Chase. And I would like to go after you, Chase, because I spent three semesters talking with Paride week by week, and I'm gonna share some information about Paride that you may know or not know. But the worst thing you can do to Paride is to tell him that his music sounds good and that it's good. He gets very upset. He doesn't like compliments. I never met a musician that doesn't like to be praised, and he gets really mad when you say what he's doing is good. So Paride, be ready to get very mad at me, okay? Because I have to tell you something. Your music, to me, what I heard today, touched me very, very deeply. I feel very connected to your melodic sense and your harmony, your composition, your sound. I really, really like your way of composing music and what you hear. I agree with Chase. It's very refreshing. There's not many students that come to the program with that specific aesthetic, and I think I like that you are, especially this year, I saw you really embracing it and be clear that this is something that is very important for you. And I really impressed by what you did with, so quickly. And I know Bruno helped you a lot with the strings. You started, you never had that. And to hear this at the end is like, wow. And on top of what Chase says, I hear this connection beside all of the things you mentioned, but I hear also like such a cinematic quality in what you do. I hear Ennio Morricone. I really hear like Nino Rota, but going through Tonino Horta, Ralph Towner, and at the end it's just Paride. It's just Paride. And you enter the program with a lot of doubts, a lot of questions, and I know today you have even more doubts and even more questions. My only thing as somebody's been close to you and see you got on really struggling, mostly with your confidence and with yourself, is please believe in you more. Really, I don't get upset at me because I tell you this. I know you like to hear, harsh criticism and all the things you still don't know how to do, but you need to stop comparing yourself to people that are twice your age and have 3 times your experience. And just accept the fact that you have a really beautiful God-given talent that you need to nurture, and of course you'll keep on improving and going the direction you want. But I want you to be really, at least today, feel proud of what you did there, because what this music is truly, truly inspiring. At least to me personally, I'm telling you this with all the sincerity of my heart. So congratulations. That's all I want to say. And I'm sorry if I upset you.
No, thank you.
All right. And Bruno, please, you also you have to be praised because, man, What incredible progress here.
Oh, thank you. Paride, it was such a pleasure working with you, especially last spring during the Write the Study sessions that we did. And I agree with everything Chase and Marco is saying about your music. It's really deeply moving and so gorgeous. And it has your, even when you are mixing in all these influences from the African rhythms to Ravel and everything, it's still, I hear your voice in there. It's if I heard your music randomly somewhere, I say, oh, that's Paride's, so you have your own voice already, which is great. And when you have that, you can build on that like you're doing, because you have a core to your music that's there already, so I'm going to great research too. It's so inspiring to see that you go in depth and look at all those different styles or genres, from the African drumming to Ravel and Train and everybody. I mean, it's great that what you're doing is fantastic, and you're learning so much from that. But now I'm going to make you happy, okay? No, the string stuff is really nice, but it's just the beginning. And I think writing for a string quartet, I think the group you have there is really unique to the percussion, acoustic bass, clarinet, guitar, and flute, right? Yep. Yeah. I think look at it as two separate groups, so you could have the string quartet is one group, and the clarinet, flute, and guitar is another group. And the bass can go either way, and the percussion can go with either group. But have them be more of equal importance in some of future things that you're writing, and see it as a conversation between the two groups. You know what I mean? So the string quartet might be saying something and like a call, and then the other group as a response. And then, of course, there's all sorts of combinations you can do with that group. I mean, it's so many possibilities, but you could feature the strings even more, but that's an really exciting ensemble you have there. Yeah, I think that's it. Congratulations. It's gorgeous music. It really is. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Bruno. I wonder if Francisco still, you've been with us. It's wonderful to have you come on Paride's music.
Can you hear me, Marco? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say congratulations, because you took me to a beautiful journey, Paride. And thank you for the combinations of the music and the whole history behind that. It was really, really sweet to see the African music emerging into the classical music and to the result. And as Bruno says, I'm just waiting for you to see where it's gonna be, and I would love to be part of the same experience that Bruno says. I would love to identify your music by listening and saying, this is a Paride. And so let me enjoy this, because this is going to be amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. And thank you for being here with us all day. I really appreciate it. Maestro Danilo.
Right. This Paride is the writing last culmination experience of the week, right?
Of the year, of the whole year, Danilo.
Of the whole year. Okay, let me go into details a little bit. Paride, such a gentle man. Really enjoy working with you. Very caring, respectful. very focused, interested in all the subjects. Kind of always thinking about how to formulate the next questions, even as you are listening sometimes. You already have the question, which is cool. Sometimes too many questions about yourself. Your music answers a lot of things, which is beautiful. There's a duality to the way you're speaking that means that you are in a search of answers, right? But I hear a lot of answers on your music. So enjoy that process that you are going through. When I hear your music, I side with Marco said about the film scoring quality. Look at the journey of your life. Don't compare yourself, because when you stop comparing, you start finding your personality. Okay? Stop comparing. It's the door to like really bad door. So you don't need to do that. There's so much in Paride. It's not necessary. But envision with what you have so far, which is hard to do sometimes, what kind of collaborations you can do. You know, I hear you in collaborations with, like, for example, I would start looking for like a really good songwriter, because you have such a, you know, start collaborating together. You know, the journey is not alone in life. The journey is collective. And sometimes your ideas about music get challenged by somebody else, but it's in the process of finding new sounds that you really grow. You know what I mean? So envision somebody that writes good song that you would like to, like, for example, I'm thinking of like Aditi. I'd like to see you collaborating with Aditi. You together, for example. I think you would find a lot about. And have your secret black book about the goals in your life. Like, goals give you life meaning, you know, for you. Look, this is how far as walking life. This is, you know, and write all your dreams. I remember there was a quote by the president of, I don't remember what, it was from President Sirleaf. She said, if your dreams do not scare you, they're not big enough. If your dreams do not scare you, they're not big enough. The size of your dream, she said, must always exceed your current capacity to achieve them. So think about dream. Do not be scared of new ideas, new collaboration. I sometimes I wonder, like, oh, why people are afraid of new ideas. I am totally afraid of the old ideas. You know what I mean? Chase pointed out something interesting. A lot of the reflections that you are doing, which I loved from the beginning, I really congratulate you for staying on your path from the beginning. That was a very profound interest for you. There are works in Latin America that are very profound, like people like Ginastera. In Cuba, Leo Brauer, for example. In Mexico, Ponce. You know, there's a lot of people really in the. I can send you a list.
I'd love to.
But that are thinking very alike. You know, Villalobos in Brazil, who went through the Antonio Lauro in Venezuela, for example. And you're going to notice when you listen to them, there's a growth, but they persisted in this idea and this collaboration, you know, in this combination, you know. I really love working with you. I think you have incredible potential. I sometimes like to encourage you to make more mistakes when you are improvising. The mistake will show you that I need to stand and make corrective actions. You have gray years. There's no there's no place, the conception of mistake. I'm just calling mistake because I want to, your music have the power to really lift you up like this. You know, I think between dreaming a little bigger and having the courage to like, okay, here we are. And by the way, the acoustic guitar is killing. Woo!
Thank you.
You have a voice there, man. Brother.
Thank you.
Trust in yourself. I think that's a cliche, but really trust in yourself. Trust in your talent. It's been a pleasure working with you, brother.
A pleasure for me too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny.
Paride, do you have any last comments you want to address?
No, I just want to thank you, everyone, for the year and a half that we did. It's been a pleasure, and I learned so much, also as a person, not only musically. And so, really, thank you for having me in this year global. And I hope to be in America.
Well, we hope the same. We hope you get better soon, and we hope to see you back here as soon as possible. I have a last comment that I know, you know, I've been talking with Daniel about it, and I would like to share with all of you. I mean, I've been working at Berklee 12 years now, and I don't think in the history of these 12 years that I've been here, I never saw a class with the worst luck as your class, as this class. And now, you know, seeing out of this year of you being basically the only class that spent all this time remote, right? Because the class before had at least half a year on campus. I am witnessing all this beautiful music in these last 2 weeks. Last 2 days, I think it's like such a testament of you know, the resilience of all of you and the amazing care and love of all this community. Danilo, Chase, Bruno, Francisco, all everybody's been incredible to see this result. And I think I'm happy, Paride, that we finish on the note of the you know, sweet sound of your music. Very indicative, and congratulations so much for your journey, Paride. And we wait for you here in Boston as soon as possible. So get better soon, okay?